Hello, and welcome to this lab demonstration on requesting a service. In this lab, you will log into VRA console as a business user, and you will be presented with a list of catalog items. You will select one of the items and then request it. So it will start the deployment on the vCenter server. And then you will verify the deployment and finally destroy the deployment. This lab consists of 4 tasks. So let's get started with task 1, requesting a service. In this task, you will request a Photon OS virtual machine from vRealize Automation Service Catalog. To do so, you need to open a Google Chrome browser and you need to log into the following vRealize Automation appliance, SA-VRA01. You'll probably see this, your connection is not private message. It's fine because VRA is using not CA sign certificate, so your browser doesn't support it. Click Advanced and click Proceed. Now click on Go to Login page. Again, you get another warning message from VIDM. It's fine. Click Advanced and click Proceed again. You need to choose the domain. You need to use vclass.local here and click Next. Okay, now you need to type in username and password, and we are going to use the following: eng-sb-user, and the password is vmware1! The standard password that almost all users in this lab will be using. Click Sign In. Awesome. So you are connected, you are logged into vRealize Automation Cloud Services console. What you're gonna see here, you see the list of services that are provided to this particular user. Depending on the user role, you may see various services presented over here. In this case, this particular user, Nancy Atkins, has one service provided, which is Service Broker. We click on this service, and now you see the catalog. So this catalog here consists of 2 catalog items. So catalog item is basically a template, a cloud template that was provided and prepared for you by the administrator. So what you're gonna do, you will use the following VMware Cloud template, this one, VMW Photon OS. What you need to do now, you need to click Request over here. Once you click Request, you see the deployment which is about to start, and you need to provide the deployment name. Photon OS-Lab1, and then click Submit. And this completes task number 1. Now we are ready to move to task number 2. In task number 2, you are going to track your request. You're still under the Deployments tab, and now you can monitor your deployment. What you can do, you can click on the deployment name, like this, and you can go to History tab to see how the deployment is proceeding. You see different stages the deployment is going through. In addition, what you're gonna do, open the additional browser tab, and you can go to vSphere client. So this particular deployment is deploying VM on a vSphere environment. So in order to monitor the deployment process, we can open the vSphere client and then log into the vCenter server to see how deployment is proceeding. Here we go. Now, please pick this option, use Windows Session Authentication, and click Login. So you don't need to type username and password here. So what you're gonna do now, you will log into vSphere vCenter server, and you will be able to see how your deployment was performed. Basically, you will be able to see all the stages that deployment was going through. This particular deployment deploys a VM, a single VM basically. Therefore, you will be able to see how VM was cloned, then customized, and then powered on. It's a little bit slow, but it's fine. Look at the recent tasks pane. You can move it up a little bit to better see it. And here you can see multiple stages that your VM was going through. Clone VM, reconfigure, then customize, and finally power on. You can go back to vRealize Automation Console to ensure that your deployment is successfully completed. This deployment is taking about a few minutes to complete. Okay, so task 2 is now completed. Congratulations. And we can move to task number 3. And task number 3 is about examining your deployment. So in this task, you are going to check if your VM is actually available as an item in vRealize Automation. So basically, once the request is complete, you should be able to see this new item in your console and you can verify it. So what you're gonna do, you're still in the cloud template and you are under the deployments tab. From history, you move to the topology tab here and you see this design canvas part of the screen. Here you click on this resource, which is Cloud Machine 1, and this represents your VM. And once you click here, on the right hand side you can see properties of your VM. We are looking for the following properties. First of all, the IP address. So this is the IP address of your machine, your virtual machine. By the way, you can compare this IP address with the real IP address, with the actual IP address that you can see on the vSphere client. It's easy to do. The vSphere client is already opened in your browser. So you can find the VM that was deployed. So you can go here to the VMs and templates. And then let's open the VMs folder. You should be able to see the VM in there. Here we go. So this is the VM. Click on it. Let's take a look at the IP address. Here we go. This is the IP address of the VM, 172.20.11.200. It's the same IP address as we see here. Next, what you need to do, you need to find the image name that was used to deploy this virtual machine. The image name is hidden under custom properties. So if you open custom properties here, you can see lots of different properties of this particular resource. Many things are available here. CPU count, the RAM size, operating system type, and many other things. We're looking for an image that was used to deploy the VM. You can find this image if you're just scrolling through the list. So for example, I just did it like this. So this is the image name VMW-Photon OS. But in addition, since this list is very long, you can always do Control F and type image and find it like this. Cool. So you can write down the image name. In some situations, especially in the upcoming labs, it may be helpful for you to find the image and then make some modifications or monitor something if you need to check some parameters. Okay, click Close Now, and this completes task number 3. Now you're ready to move to task number 4. And in task number 4, you are going to destroy your VM. So basically you will remove your deployment. Why? Because you want to save some resources. You will see that in most labs in this course, you are going to remove your deployment after your deployment is successfully completed, simply because you want to save resources. And if you have some unnecessary, unneeded items, feel free to remove those items. Okay, so let's remove this particular deployment. How you can do this? You need to click on these small icons with 3 dots, like this vertical ellipses, and choose Delete. And then click Submit. Great, so you have started the deletion process of your deployment. You can monitor the deletion process right here. So for example, you can go to your deployment and then you can click on history to see how this deletion process is performed. And since you have your vSphere client opened, feel free to open your vSphere client. And again, you can monitor the deletion process here in real time. You see, your VM was powered off and then your VM was deleted. And you no longer see the VM here. Cool. Let's go back to vRealize Automation Console and let's wait for the deletion process to be successfully completed. It will take just about a minute to complete. All right, so the deployment was successfully deleted. And this completes task number 4 and also the entire lab. Now you can click close and then sign out. Great, so this lab is now completed. You have learned how to log into VRA console as a business user and how to request a service. Then you learned how to monitor the deployment and finally how to destroy your deployment. Thank you for watching.